Hi there. Is Aubrey there? Is Claudie there? Who's there? Is it Charlie or Eli? Well, we'll have another story. The members of Lehi and Ishmael's families set to work gathering seeds of every kind. They stored them away carefully to keep them safe until they reached the promised land. Early one morning, Lehi called his family together. I had a dream, he said, and because of what I have seen, I am overjoyed with Sam and Nephi, for they will be saved, and many of their seed also. But oh, Laman and Lemuel, I am fearful because of you. I thought I was lost in a dark, dreary wilderness, when suddenly there stood before me a man all dressed in white, who asked me to go with him. After a while I grew so dark that I lost my way and couldn't see anything. Then I prayed to God to be merciful unto me. He heard my prayer, and soon after I beheld a very large field. I saw a tree, and I knew at once that I must eat some of its fruit to be happy. When I tasted it, I found it was sweet, the sweetest fruit I had ever eaten, and it was white, and the whitest white I'd ever seen in all my life. After I had eaten of the fruit, I was so filled with joy that I looked about to see if I could find my family so that they might partake of the fruit. I saw a river running by the tree, and looking up I saw at its head your mother, Sam and Nephi. I beckoned to them to come to me. They did. When they had partaken of the fruit, they too were very happy. I looked around again to see if I could find Laman and Lemuel, and then I saw a rod of iron running along the side beside the river, and beside the rod was a straight and narrow path. The rod and path started at the head of the river, and there stood Laman and Lemuel. I called to them to join with us and partake of the fruit, but they refused and turned away. When I saw a great crowd of people, and some of them started along the straight and narrow path, but after a while a mist arose, and it grew so dark that they lost their way. But some held to the rod, and finally found their way to the tree, where they ate of the fruit and were filled with joy. I like to eat fruit. Do you like to eat fruit, Claudie? Do you like to eat fruit, Aubrey? I like to eat fruit. Lehi talked on and on about his dream, and when he finished he predicted many great and wonderful things that were to be fulfilled in the future. Nephi was so deeply impressed by all his father had said and seen, he was so grateful. Sariah lay staring into the blackness of her tent. She was far too excited to sleep. Tomorrow was a great day, the day she had waited for so many years. Tomorrow her sons and Zoram were to be married. 5 marriages in one day? 5? She had always dreamed of a great celebration for her sons, but now it was to be a humble affair, but nevertheless favoured in the sight of God. For days she and Ishmael's wives and daughters had been preparing food for the feast. Sariah, are you awake? Asked Lehi. Yes, trying to get some rest, trying to get some sleep. And tomorrow we will be having a feast. Sariah hesitated before she answered, and then said slowly, yes, the thought of losing all my sons at once bothers me. Of course, I would like it no other way. But in spite of the fact, after tomorrow someone else will have first claim on their loyalty. Yes, I know, said Lehi, but you'll see it will be the best thing that will happen. Well, I think that's it for this chapter.